Hello and welcome to the Sweaty and the Farmer and the game design here. The keys to the universe are made of interdimensional carrots. This is episode number 39. We welcome the new Shadow. I am the long-name gamer as the Sweaty.
And I am Lucho the Farmer. Thanks for joining us in this episode. This week we keep updating our community on the hottest topics on the horizon.
That we do! And the topics of this week we have Shadowlands developer update and preach interview with Ion and everything that comes with the beta. Warframe Steel Pad already full of plot holes, and is even like group finder in World of Warcraft a problem? So, a disclaimer first, don't forget that discussion here is based on our own opinions and our own in-game experience. We may say things wrong and you may disagree, so you can put it on the comments. We are not infallible people and we are not aiming to be like super reliable game journalists, but we try our best, we promise. So, Lucho, our first thing on the docket, big beta release of Shadowlands. People are experiencing the beta everywhere. And the interviews and everything else that come along. Like everybody did interviews with Ian Hasekostas and the other developers.
Yeah.
So how'd that go?
Everyone has had, or a lot of the big content creators have had their time with some developers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's fine, but like,
yeah. Can we get an interview someday?
all be fucking amazing.
Of course.
But I mean, we should go first over the things that they cover in the developer update, which happened I think 2 weeks ago.
Yes. So
and then we'll dive into some of the details in the interviews and things that I have in my head.
Yes, so they cover a bunch of stuff. Like I tried to find a list of exactly what did they cover, but they cover a lot of stuff. They cover the special edition of the game to begin with. They were releasing. They did a showcase of what the special edition looks like and why you're gonna get mail if you buy like the legendary super duper mega Shadowlands edition, right? Sure. And then after that, they cover part of like how the level squishing was gonna happen to like in a bunch of interviews, which is gonna happen to the hair rooms. They cover that the new leveling. What?
Heirlooms are losing their XP bonus.
Correct. And they say
out what are they gonna replace it with?
Yeah, and they assure that the leveling system is going to be so much more better than you are not going to miss the heirlooms, right? They announce or explain the soulbinds, and like they reveal the majority of the soulbinds for the covenants with the system right now that is like that you put gems on your soulbinds.
Yeah, it's very akin to how Legion.
Artifacts, right?
Artifacts worked.
Yeah.
Like it is reminiscent of that, like, but different nonetheless.
Correct. They release everything about. I think was like something's missing from the mall that they were not gonna. They were not gonna put a key system on the mall that you can go in however you want, but there will be like a eye of the mall kind of system that will kick you out eventually, something like that.
No, so basically what they said was they initially were going to put a key system to access the mall.
Yep.
Which you will actually want and need to access to craft legendaries and do... It is one of the main progression things for the expansion.
Correct.
And it is a feature that across the alpha and now the beta, a lot of people have said that it's a really good feature. Like they like running the most. So one of the complaints or one of the things that the community was saying is like, we really like the mall. We want to, or not the mall, but like the tower of the dam.
Yes.
We really like to run this thing. Let us run it to our heart's content.
Yes.
So at some point I'd say, okay, like you'll need a key for the one that gives you rewards, but you can access one with no rewards as many times as you want. And it seems like on that interview they say, okay, we give up. We're gonna let you run it.
We just give up. It's like, do whatever you want. Yeah.
They're probably gonna hard cap the amount of materials or rewards that you can get quickly.
Yes.
But you can still just go into it and run it as much as you can.
Yes.
Like, and I'm saying that the probably is just the speculation that a lot of people have put into place, because everyone do acknowledge that just having infinite rewards, it's gonna become
Bad. Like
an
super
island
grindy.
expedition nightmare, as it was at the beginning of BFA.
Correct.
Just people grinding their faces off 24/7 to get the most out of the thing.
Yeah, so that's
and that is definitely not a good thing.
Yeah. The other thing that they showcased and announced was like there was gonna be a mini game inside the Soulbinds, the way that you use the table, that like very similar to like those auto chases things that exist, and you can manage it from the phone. Like that was the idea.
You're mixing two things. You're still gonna have a mission table.
Yeah, the mission. Yeah.
But the mission table is gonna change a little bit, and that it's gonna change to something that is gonna work a little bit closer to an auto chest.
Correct.
Auto chest.
There we go. Yes.
That is one of the changes.
Yes.
That has. I mean, a lot of people dislike the mission table.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It is a thing that I do when I log in and before I log out. And I don't put that much thought into it. It's just I just go click the things. That's it. It's not that big of a deal for me. So I never mind it.
And they want
people despise it.
Yeah, and they want to do it like manageable from the phone to just have a mini game on the phone.
It has always been like right now. You can, if you have the WoW app
companion,
you can manage. The WoW companion, you can manage the table. But now they want to. It feels like the problem that they see with it is that it's not engaging enough.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's something that, if it is something that can be automated by an add-on, it means that it's just busy work, and they want to move from just being busy work to something a little bit more interesting. I hope they succeed. I don't know. I have no expectations, but I don't mind the mission table at all.
Fair enough.
I'll be really happy if they make it something where you have to think a little bit more, because that just means you have to engage a little bit more with it. Like, I like thinking.
We all yeah.
I don't know, but some people don't. Like, some people see it as busy work, and they just want an add-on to click one.
Correct. Yeah.
They don't want click to take care of that because they don't care. If it makes me think, I'm gonna engage to some degree with it. Yeah, I like that. The other thing is that each covenant is gonna have a mini game.
Yes, that was my next thing. Look, wait. That like I was saying, like they announced that all the covenants are gonna be in the beta, like all almost feature complete on the beta, so you can choose and check like the powers that they give you, etc., that you can go and play legends to it, and they're gonna have like a party system. That's the other system that they announced. Like, how was
It's not a party system. It is a mini game.
It's like you can make. It's a mini game when you if I'm not wrong, these two systems they fit into one another. That you activate parts of the zone with anima power, and then you invite guests into your place to collect anima through like a party or something like that.
Calm down.
Am I mixing two systems?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
So one of the things is that so the first thing that you're gonna get access. So each covenant has its own home-based thingy.
Yeah.
And by collecting anima or grinding whatever currency I want, reputation thing, whatever. The beginning of the expansion, like you'll be able to select which like little section of the zone
Yes.
that you can kind of like activate like world quests and world bosses on that zone.
Correct.
And then you basically get to, by spending currency, you get to choose basically which zone do you want to grind.
Yeah, and it looks like eventually you can.
On a given moment.
It looks like eventually you can activate them all, right?
Eventually, that it's probably gonna be tuned up in a way that by the end of the patch, you will grind up slowly to unlock permanently all the zones.
Yeah,
I think that is a cool idea.
Yes. I like it to like opening up the map while you do stuff and collect the currency. I like that and activating places.
I love it from an RPG perspective, but I know there are people who don't like that because choices are terrible.
Your choices are awful. All right.
Which is, I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
There are things that you were talking.
The party thing, like I didn't quite comprehend the thing.
It is each covenant is gonna have a mini game.
Yes.
Mini. So the vampire people, which I forgot the name of the covenant, their mini game is a party hosting thing.
All right.
So and the Kyrian, which are the old people, are gonna have like a boss arena, boss rush kind of thing.
Yeah.
The Necrolords, I think, is the name of the one.
Yes.
They're gonna have like a mini game where you get to build your own abomination, which I think is amazing.
Cool. Yeah. And the Kyrian, I don't remember what the Kyrian was. Yeah. The knife elf. Yeah.
The knife, they're gonna have like a little farm.
Oh.
I don't know. They didn't set much about what that entails, but that's what they mentioned.
Yeah, that seems super cool that each covenant has their own stuff going on different from the other ones, right?
I love it. It's a RPG.
Yeah, it's like super cool that like if you're in certain covenant, you do different stuff like the other covenant that you do. Like I don't think there's nothing like that in BFA right now.
Sadly not in BFA.
Yeah. Like that you do different stuff because you took a choice or something like that at some point.
Yeah, and I call it a mini game because it's something that if you want to, it's a thing that you'll do once a week.
Yes,
that's it. It's not a major part of the content. It's just like a little nice RPG thing.
Yes.
That if you're into that, you enjoy. I'm really into that kind of thing. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. Come on. I love the thing about like unlocking parts of the map, like that construction, progress thing. I love that. Yeah. Right? And then the biggest one, which was renown. Like they apparently are gonna replace the usual way that you do progression in terms of mounts and unlocking things with an overall system that is called renown in the expansion. And that's going to tie up to your Pathfinder achievements and that sort of stuff, and like to unlocking certain parts of the map. And it's going to be like blanket over all the old, or what we have now in retail, that you have to grind a lot of like different reputation with the things, right? And they showcase a very cool picture about like circles, like filling up your renown, and that is going to fill up of what you do. That's cool.
I feel like it is gonna take the same time to unlock flying that it usually takes with reputations.
But that's like definitely like they've superintended. Like they say they want you on your feet for like certain time.
No. But it's just. But like, what I'm saying is just that it is just an illusion of change. It's not real change. Like if you think if you think it carefully, what you're probably gonna end up doing on a like session by session gameplay.
Yeah,
you're gonna go around doing dailies and world quests or whatever the equivalent to those things are.
Yeah.
You're gonna be earning this new quote unquote reputation.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's and like it's gonna be a slow, dreadful grind.
Yes.
and probably it's gonna be tuned in the same way, that it's gonna take a long time to, or more or less the same amount of time that it took in BFA to unlock flying.
Yeah, but like at least it's a little bit more streamlined. Like at least it's just one bar that you have to. You know what I mean? Like it's more of a quality of life change.
It is a cosmetic change.
Yeah, it's just like one bar that you have to fill, and then when that bar is filled, you can get your Pathfinder achievement. It's not like 7 bars that you have to fill get your Pathfinder achievement, right?
I mean, there is an argument to be made that having one bar against multiple, it takes away. It could feels like it takes away the diversity.
Really? I feel like I don't know. I
think if it does. Like, let's say you're in the middle of the grind.
Yeah.
One day I say, okay, I don't want to do any quest. I can just go and fly around doing world quests for the Turtolans or walk around.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm gonna feel that bar today.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
I don't want to do world quests.
Yeah.
I just still have like side quests in this area, so I'm gonna go and knock those quests down.
But as I understand it right, that bar, like the renown thing, is gonna advance no matter what you do. Well, if you are doing it in the Shadowlands, right?
Exactly. That's what it is. Just a cosmetic change.
All right.
It's not that it's taking away the choice.
Yeah, yeah.
It is just that it could feel at some point like, oh, like everything is just to fill this big bar.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of samey in that sense, even if you make the decision.
Yeah. I understand.
Because there is something that I like about reputations, and is that when you're at that point, when you're super close to get to the next level, that always gives me like the motivation to, I have 500 reputation points to go for the next thingy.
Yeah.
I can focus on that. And,
yes.
And then I achieved that, and it's like, that was fulfilling. Like it was worth it, my time.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It can't take away from that. I'm not saying it's a bad change. I'm just saying I honestly think it's just a cosmetic change, and it's not gonna change.
I don't know. I like it.
I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, as a game designer, I like that kind of stuff. I do love like they're keeping away with the philosophy of like. It's weird because they're kind of like trying to tread this very difficult part of like we want to give you a bunch of choices, right? But we don't want to obligate you we don't want to put a pistol in your head and obligate you to do everything like for the week, and like you have to do all the things, if not you're missing out. Right? They even say that they were gonna be like they're gonna put catch-up mechanics already on the systems that you fall behind on the week stuff that you have to do, and because I feel like they wanna move away to obligate the player to grind a lot, but you just have tasks to do on the week, and if you do this task that they technically should not take you more than a PlayStation, you will be fine.
How is that different from BFA?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It is not like that's what I'm. It just all like I'm not against the change. And being a cosmetic change is not a bad thing.
Yes.
It is a good thing because it's gonna feel different and it's gonna feel renewed.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It is the same thing that happened like before Legion or both. There were no world quests. There were a bunch of dailies.
Yeah.
And people were getting bored of dailies, and then world quests appeared. I think in Legion, and it was such a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
But if you think about it, what is a world quest? It is a daily disguise.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a daily in disguise. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It is like if you think about it, it is a cosmetic change.
Yes.
Does it feel different when you play them? It absolutely does.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming it doesn't change the feel. I'm just saying that if you carefully think about it, it is just a cosmetic change.
Yeah.
It's
I
the same
think
thing with the repair.
correct. I think that's
Is it gonna feel
all.
different? Amazing. I hope so.
Yeah, I think that's all that they announced on the beta announcements.
That was. I mean, the other big announcement was that beta keys were gonna start rolling last week.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was the one I was
And
yeah.
that the release window is still last fourth quarter or fall.
Fall,
basically.
yeah, they say fall. So
Yeah, which
October, November, December.
yeah, basically, which still makes my prediction
Yeah,
early
accurate.
November.
Yeah, yeah, and they gonna be doing beta key release on waves. So if you didn't get like a beta invite, they're gonna release keys weekly. So you getting that. If you wanna go check it out with Shadowlands and what they're doing there and give them feedback, getting that go to the Shadowlands page and there is a button down there that it says like opt in into the beta, and
Yep.
maybe you're lucky enough and get like in one of these weeks before the actual game releases, you'll get invited to the beta. All right, so there's like things that I wanna discuss about the like that been controversial, and I want to see.
There are a lot of things that I want to discuss with you.
All right, do you start? You start.
But no, go ahead.
All right.
We may have the same things in mind. I may have more.
All right, I want to discuss one is like people are trying to say like they want to make sure that 100% every covenant ability that you choose is balanced, which I find that is like insanely difficult in World of Warcraft, and people like are dumb to expect that everything is going to be 100% balanced when you have so many combinations with like between classes and specs. And the other thing is like the debacle about that the soulbinds consumables, that they're going to be like gems that you put it in and then you break them out.
So let's talk about soulbinds first.
All right.
So soulbinds are like these small skill trees that are like you choose a covenant that gives you a choice of 3 different soulbinds.
Correct.
And you choose one of them, and it's like a little skill tree, and it has slots where you can put your own skills or your own abilities or your own things, passives, whatever. And the initial design is that they want those to be consumable.
Yes, like gems, like stuff that you put it in, and you want to change it, you got like to destroy it and to put another thing in.
Yeah, and the fear, or not the fear, but like one common thing to do is just you respect your character accordingly to the activity that you're gonna do.
Yes.
So you have a build for PvP, you have a single target build, you have a multi-target or an AoE build, and
even
so on and so forth.
And even if the idea of that will be that you choose the soulbind instead of the actual construction of the tree, that you choose a soulbind to the activity, because they give you 3 soulbinds and you can interchange them.
You can interchange the soulbinds, but you cannot
change the trees inside it. Yeah, I know.
But the point is that people would like to, and like for example, between raid bosses.
Jesus. Yeah.
People like for like the most efficient setup for this boss.
Yeah, for this specific boss.
Is this soulbind with these conduits.
Yeah.
Or for this specific dungeon, the most efficient setup is, and I'm talking about Mythic Plus because like for this specific dungeon, you need your class want to take this soulbind with these specific conduits.
Yeah.
And people want to go that way.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think the gem system is bad in the sense that they say that you always gonna find better gems as you go along. So that incentivizes like either not final decisions or like too much grinding in the case that we lost Lucho for a second there. Oh, what happened? Come back to me, my friend. Lucho, are you still there? Lucho, come back. All right, folks. We'll be right back with you. All right, Lucho's back.
I'm back.
Sorry for that,
Sorry about the technical difficulties.
Yeah. So what I was saying, it was like either like, because they already said that they were gonna have better soul binds all they will have better conduits all the time to choose from. Like if you go up, like they actually have levels that, like, if the gems, imagine if the gems that you put on your gear had levels, so you have to change it while you advance. To begin with, that's it's kind of bad, because if it was like kind of a static system when you change between the two soul binds, I would be fine with. But the fact that they level up, it will consume a lot of time to people to respect, right, on them. And like if you wanna, I don't know, if we go from patch to patch, like imagine if you go to patch from patch to patch, you will eventually, like, this is a hypothesis, an imagination, like you will eventually find the best, the highest level soul conduits to put on your soul bind, and you will be fine with that, and you will go do red bosses, and then the next content comes in, and you have to re-farm all the soul binds, even if they're all ones and new ones, because there's always not, like in WoW, that's not consistent, that the new things that comes on the patch are always the best. There's some things on the old patch which makes sense, that are all the best. So you maybe want to change one soulbind from one place to another, so you will have to regrind that same soulbind no matter how long it will take to acquire it. And that's definitely a pain in the ass. Like I prefer much the essence systems when you have like soulbinds to choose from and interchangeable, right?
Probably a library system is the best option.
Yeah.
But I don't mind regrinding the same thing.
You don't mind regrinding the thing?
Nope.
All right. You don't mind, like, if you guys have to change like an entire soulbind, like you have to regrind like how many slots? Like kind of have like 7-8 slots like, around that?
Like if it is patch to patch, I don't mind.
Yeah, if it's patch, but you cannot guarantee that. That's the thing, right?
What do you mean you cannot guarantee that?
Like because like, and I'll give you an example. In to do like, imagine if one of the soul binds, one of the conduits, gems, things are very good in certain place, and then in the next patch are very good in another place of the soulbind tree, right?
Okay.
So you will have to go back to content of the patch before to regrind that specific soulbind. Because it's better in combination with the new ones, right?
Sure, I don't mind that.
And that's the thing. Like if you regrind only new content to get the new things, that's fine, right? But if you had to go back to old patches and regrind stuff from the old patches of the old content, that may be troublesome. Like as of now, like a lot of people, like like for example, right now in BFA, one of the trinkets for me as a warrior class that is very good is in the raid before that, and I've been having like sometimes problems to go and do the mythic run because not a lot of the population likes to run all content, right?
That is, for the most part, an outlier.
Yeah.
Like that specific example that you gave me on the razor, that trinket.
Yeah.
That is kind of an outlier.
Not necessarily. I think we have like mages that want the Ashara trinket from that. Like
I'm not saying that it is specific for you, but it is an outlier that is that trinket.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing. Like I wouldn't like to go back and like regrind all stuff. You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing current content,
the only problem with old stuff is just the raid.
All right, fair enough. Yeah.
Like the world content just gets easier, so that's fast.
Okay, yes.
It may be time consuming, but world content usually gets easier, patch by patch.
Yes.
It does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes. That is correct. That is correct.
Whatever thing is tied to dungeons, it stays relevant due to Mythic Plus.
Yes, that is true.
So, if you are a player who's interested in playing Mythic Plus,
Yeah.
you're still gonna be running them. So
Fair enough. I feel
from patch to
like
patch.
the intention of that thing is like that at some point the soul binding system should be static in terms of what countries do you have or not. I think that's the intention, right?
Oh no, of course that is the
But
intention.
people want them to be more flexible as in a library, so you can change it to be the most optimal combination for each activity necessary, as with Essence now, right? Like there's you change some essence around to be like the most efficient thing. But things like the essence are limited to just a collection of essence. In this case, you not only have like a big tree in one soulbind, but you have three soulbinds that you can move around.
Yep.
So is it good to like give them that much complexity and flexibility to that system in particular?
There is, I mean, and I linked up the interview that the Iron has a customers made with Preach this week.
Yeah.
And they talk about that. That's a big talking point.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get into kind of a tangential topic.
All right.
That is relevant to a whole discussion. So that like the conduit problem is one problem, and Ian said in the interview like, okay, yeah, we're not gonna make them destructible.
Yeah.
But so that's changing. But we don't have a solution for that right now.
Correct. Yeah. So
that's what he said. I think Thursday.
Yes,
Or
Wednesday, I know. Right? Yeah, he said like it's not final, but we don't have a solution for it, so we don't want to say
they said it's not gonna be destructible, but we don't have a solution.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
But that what you described talks to a bigger discussion of what things are permanent.
Yeah. And
what choices should be like moment to moment.
Yes.
And Ian said that basically, or that the way that he sees it, WoW, or the things in WoW live in this spectrum of choices that are permanent.
Yeah.
And choices that you change from time, like from all the time. And his examples were, so for example, your class is a permanent choice, and it changes the way that you play completely the game.
Correct. Yes.
And on the other extreme, you have things that are like your talents.
Yeah.
And your consumables, even your spec. Like you can change a spec on the fly. You can change talents. You can change the consumables that you carry around with you.
Yes.
And that the things in WoW live in that spectrum. And he said that they're thinking of covenants as something that it's on the permanent side.
Soulbinds.
No, covenants.
Oh, covenants. Oh, all right. Yeah.
Because soulbinds, you can change the soulbind.
Yeah, you can change that a little bit.
Like the soulbind is something inside the covenant.
Yeah.
The soulbind itself lives more on the you can respect on the fly.
Yeah.
But the covenant itself, they don't want that. And what he mentioned is that when they were designing conduits, they were thinking of them kind of in the middle ground of that. They want you to have like a build that you're not gonna change that much.
Yeah,
it's kind of a semi-permanent choice.
Semi-permanent.
So it was conceived as what you mentioned. Like you have a build for each soulbind.
Yeah,
but you can choose the soulbind that you want.
Yeah,
like,
correct.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the things in the soulbind they were designed were like, those are not gonna change.
Yeah. So apparently people want extremes.
And it seems like there is a disconnection
Yeah.
in between what the developing team wants to do with the game
Yeah.
and what a portion of the community wants.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they want to be extremes. Like they want to be either be like permanent or be like super flexible. Like there's no middle point. That's what I feel like the community wants.
And one of the things that Aaron said is that was also the mark that they were trying to hit with Azure trade.
Like in the middle.
Like not in the middle, but kind of more of a permanent choice. So you will get a piece of gear and you'll choose your traits.
And that's it. Yes.
And that's it. So they put an exponentially growing reforging price in gold.
Yeah. I heard about this. Yes.
To discourage people from
redo the things,
reforging the trade, like re-choosing the trades.
But it didn't
matter. What it ended up being is it doesn't really matter. It is just expensive.
Yeah.
But if you are the player who wants to have all the most efficient things, you're just gonna pay the price. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course.
It is not like you're not being discouraged by the absurd gold price.
Yeah.
That is not discouraging you to respect. So I feel like they want like each soulbind to aim at that same kind of gray area where Azure traits were aimed to and ultimately fail.
Yeah,
it's fine. I hope they can find that balance. So I don't know where do you lie in the discussion? Are you more in the I want to respect everything every time, or?
No, I mean, like as I think about it, I prefer to be a build on the soulbinds that only changes from big content patch to big content patch. Right?
Oh yeah, no, so absolutely.
I prefer to be like permanent. Like, oh, you pick your jewel. I don't like to be. I prefer to be an unlockable and not a destructible jewel, right? So, as I would like to be, like, the flexibility in the system should be in choosing your soulbind, but it should not be on the build that you put on the tree, right? So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
correct,
that raises some problems. What if you made the wrong choices?
Let me finish as I was thinking about like that specific problem. If you make the wrong choice, you may have the easy solution is like you want to correct. So let's do it at the pace of WoW. What is the pace of WoW? Weekly stuff. Right? So once in a week, you'll be able to like do a thing and then respect some of those or modify some of the conduits thing.
Okay, right? so it is basically a time penalty.
Yes, I will put it as a time penalty and not as a consumable thing. You already like if you did the activities to unlock the blah blah blah, you unlock that particular conduit stuff, like as an essence, for example, right? And then you put it on, right, that week. And then next week, you will go and do something more difficult and you level up that particular thing and then you modify it on your thing and that's it for that week that you can modify, right? That way, it looks like a progress, like it is a clear progress system and you're not, and it will aim to be more permanent, right? Because you can only change it once in a week after you do a certain thing. Right? And that way you can correct if you did wrong choices or if you put the thing where it's not supposed to be by mistake or if you discover a more powerful thing, right? While you progress through the patch and then you want to replace it from the weaker thing, right? I think that will be the better thing. Like if you can only do it weekly and that will fix the problem of like change it by activity, right? Of course, there will be like extremes, and I understand that. There will be like people who are like, I discovered this like super specific thing to do this super specific boss, but it will 100% discourage that because that will force people like, this week I'm just gonna kill this specific boss the most efficient way possible, right? And that will encourage more people to feel like overall builds for the soulbind things. That would be my solution. I think that would be.
I like your idea.
Yeah.
I fear that time getting stuff is something that won't fly with the WoW community. Because that's basically what you're doing. You're just time getting it.
Yes, I'm time getting stuff. You can do it like 2 times a week if people are
No,
too busy about it.
I know. 3 times a week. How many times
You can,
a week is the right amount of
you can
time?
like even go more
know.
crazy and you can like tie it to a currency that you can get like a cap in the week of how much currency you can have. I don't know.
But you're
like
basically you're time getting it. Like
I
however you want
definitely
to.
like the thing is like I definitely want to be more permanent, but I understand the concerns about progress in the
I
system.
I don't think progress is a big concern. I think
Or like wrong choices, like as you said, right?
Yeah, I
If you make
think
mistakes.
because I think at some point most people.
Of course, like a person like me will just go to a website and look the numbers and see which is the better and just do it.
And to be fair, that's probably what most people will
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's still, and again, that's why I feel like this kind of thing is not that big of a deal for most people
Yeah.
because they're gonna do exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I feel like these concerns of like changing for the most efficient thing from encounter to encounter. First of all, is a concern of the
Highest
1%.
echelon, yeah, the 1% of the people
And to be fair, like that's for example the position that Priest was advocating for. Like, why don't you just let us even choose Covenant? You know, like
yeah, that was
like,
the other thing. Yeah.
Like, what if this Covenant is not the most efficient for my class? Then it becomes like, oh, for this boss you want this warrior to have this Covenant.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
with this soulmate and with these things.
Yeah.
And then for the next boss you want that same warrior with this different Covenant, this different soulmate, and this different build.
Why? Like it's too much hassle. Like, but that for the 1% it makes sense. Like I understand. For the 1% that wants super effective that optimizes, it actually makes sense to have all this flexibility.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But my argument against that is most people are not playing the game at a mechanical level.
Yeah.
So that probably at 1%, like that 0.5 extra EPS or
is negligible.
1% extra healing is gonna make a difference.
Yeah, correct. I absolutely
just by mechanical reasons. Like
yes.
Like we are far from playing the game as close to a simulation.
Correct.
So for us, that 1% of extra EPS
it's negligible. It's like no, yeah.
You're not gonna feel it. Like,
yeah, you're not gonna feel it.
The problem that I have, like this portion of the community that follows religiously, like the pros.
Yeah.
And they believe themselves that they are as good.
Yeah.
But
they're not.
Most of us are not. It's just a fact. Like if we were that good at the game, we will be there. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yes. Correct. Like even for us, like we're very good. Like we're decent at the game at this point. Like we're top of DPS in our guild. We do the encounters fine. We know the mechanics. We don't mess up as much. But even for us, it's like the minimum that we the minimum that we were looking at is like having correct essences for like overall the activity that we're doing. Sure. That was the top of our concern, right? And try to have the correct gear. That was it, right? We're not like looking for that extreme thing of optimization.
I feel like that changing from encounter to encounter wouldn't change. I cannot play mechanically at the level.
Yeah, and matter. Like and you see it when we were like looking for like, oh well, what is the best like essence in this patch, right? What was the best essence like choice for going and do the raid? And there were like encounter changes that people did in some in some bosses, and you're like, just look overall what it works. and just pick that and go to the field and be in peace, man.
I absolutely agree with that. That's what I do.
Absolutely, right?
Like, do I still look at what the top 1% are doing? Sure, because they know something about the game.
Yeah.
Do I stick religiously to what they do encounter by encounter? No.
And you feel it, like when you take the overall information and you apply it, you feel it. You feel the change. You feel like you're doing more damage and doing more stuff. But like, you're not gonna go insane and do like each counter for that, because they're chasing something different from the game that you're chasing. I think that's the thing, right?
Absolutely.
They're chasing the absolute edge, right?
That's what I feel like, pushing for that position of just let us choose everything is nonsense.
Yes.
It's nonsense for
and it just
99% of the community.
Yeah, it just makes
it overcomplicates everything.
It just makes the normal average gamer. And I'm gonna say this, like that, like if you go for that, for super flexibility and country to encounter, blah 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 blah, it just makes the average gamer playtime more difficult, because expectations will be held account, right? I know. If you're going into a raid, this is the boss, then everybody has to change to X because that's the most efficient thing to do, and blah blah blah. And then the player is like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to do like every 5 minutes changing my shit, because that's
imagine the nightmare scenario.
My god.
There will be these elitist scrubs putting in pugs like, we need a mage with this and this and these specific things.
Yeah, we already like and right now.
Receive that. And we're like already we have talked before, like the requirements to get into pugs sometimes are just ridiculous. And
we already have problems with that right now, and the Essence system is kind of simple. Like, you just need to do certain farms and you're okay, right? Yeah. And we already have problems with that, with people being elitist because of that data. Can you imagine with all those systems combined? The amount of insanity, chaos, right?
With all the freedom of you can change all the things that you want.
Yeah, no. Like, I will say no. Just for the health of the normal player base, man. Right? It's good to listen to the 1%. They have some good ideas about the game because of the way they play the game and the way they approach the game. They have some good ideas, but not everything is a good idea.
Yes and no. I think I think they have good. I don't even think they have good ideas. I think they have like the knowledge, the deep knowledge that they have of the game.
Yeah,
it's useful in shaping the game, like in shaping like the overall direction of the game.
Yeah,
but the way that they play the game, it's so much different to the way that 99% of the people play the game.
Correct, yes.
That's shaping the way, like the moment-to-moment gameplay or like of the game based on them is a mistake.
Yes, I absolutely
doesn't
agree.
mean that they don't like what I'm trying to say, that the knowledge that they bring to the table about the game, it's probably giving the overall game a good direction.
Yes.
But like, but more than that is like no one really plays the game like they do.
Correct. So I think we're on the same page with this soulbind gem thing. I think we like a library of unlockable soulbinds. I know that the weekly local look like
don't get me
looks
wrong.
bad.
I like it.
Yeah. People are gonna complain about it. People are gonna complain about it. I know it, but I think it's what makes more sense so the system will be more permanent and you don't get these insanity things. Right?
Yeah.
Now, into the topic of like the covenant per se, like the covenant abilities per se. So I think like if you imagine the permutations in World of Warcraft with all the classes, race abilities, and the unpruning that they're going to do, to on top of that balance those covenant choices at perfection, I think it's like an insane task.
I don't think. I mean, I think it's insane.
Yeah.
And part of me believes that it shouldn't even be a thing. And
Yes.
let me elaborate on that. Like what do people mean by balancing the four covenants? That no matter, or what do I believe they mean?
Yeah.
Like no matter which one you choose, you're gonna perform no matter which class chooses which covenant,
Yeah.
they're gonna perform in a comparable way to any other class that chooses any other covenant in any given piece of content.
All right.
That will be balanced, no? Like
Yes, that would be like
the balance will
cool.
be, it doesn't really matter what I chose.
If I
can
perform as
at the same
equally.
level.
Yeah. Correct.
I think I don't like that, because that takes away from the role playing part of the.
Yeah, and takes away like and it limits the design of these abilities' uniqueness.
Yeah, but even like just from the player perspective, like it takes away from the role playing of part of the game. Like when you choose a class and I chose a hunter.
Yeah.
And like I take it with all these disadvantages.
Yeah.
Like it is a pain in the ass to control the pet AI. Sure.
Yeah.
It's a huge pain in the ass, and it is really bad at bursting damage. It is awful at bursting damage.
Yes.
It has its perks. Like all the abilities are instant cast. Sure.
Yeah.
But it has a drawback, and there's good things and bad things. And if the covenant choice is aimed to be on the permanent side,
yeah,
it should also have that, like, oh, you're gonna choose this covenant, which is really good at AoE.
Yes. That's it, right? You're like, I think we're on the same page. Like, I don't, like, people keep complaining, like, but they going to force me to choose this thing because it's gonna be the best for X and Y and Z. They're not forcing you.
That's true.
You can always choose not
that's
to.
How people feel.
What? Yeah, that's how people feel, right? They're forcing them to be like the most efficient. Like, I didn't have any problem if I have to go and check, like, oh yeah, this covenant looks cool. But I probably go to a website and check, what is the most efficient, what are my choices for the most efficient damage in my Fury Warrior in terms of like what covenant I choose. And then I will go to that covenant. And I will see the content of that covenant. And that's it. And like, even if like, in terms of role playing, it's not the best thing. But
role playing, I don't mean. But role playing, I don't mean like aesthetic role playing.
Yeah, I know.
I mean numbers role playing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I will all right, that's fine. All right, I will take it. Cool. That's better for my aspect. I think the balance that we should aim to is like certain covenants should be good for certain specs, but if you choose a different one, the drop off in terms of like damage output and that sort of stuff shouldn't be that steep, right?
Oh, Ian said it. That's definitely what they're aiming for.
Yeah,
and they are
I think they're fine.
Yeah.
Because
they're aware that they're not going to be able to balance it in a way that it's the same all the time for everyone. It's like,
and I think that's fine.
It's going to be worse for that.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. And I think that covenant choice should be fucking permanent. Like, if you want to change from one covenant to another, it should take a hassle. And I agree with that. Like that's the whole thing around the expansion, right? And like, I see people complaining and saying like, you should like freely change about covenants and blah blah blah. And like, no, that's the choice of the expansion. Like, how you take it is up to you. If you take it because of the aesthetics, okay. If you take it because of the numbers, okay, it's your choice how you take that, right?
I agree with you.
Right? People will just complain about like random stuff that doesn't matter at the long run.
It is like how I think how it is like weak ass people. They cannot make their minds. Just
Yeah. Like, and I've
just make
seen
a decision and live with the consequences.
yeah, exactly. And like I've seen all the covenants, and I'm like, they all look cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I will like if I was given the choice of aesthetic, I would probably take what was the name? The owls, the owl people. Ventir? No.
No. I forgot the name of the owls. I just said it before and I forgot it.
Yeah. Where are the covenant names?
Ventir is one of them.
The Kyrian. Yeah. Like if I was gonna choose aesthetic, I'll probably pick the Kyrian because I like to be like Paladin-esque stuff and shiny and like golden and bullshit and stuff and blue and whatever.
Right? If I were to choose one not based on the best one for my class, I will probably choose Necrolords just because I think the mini game of building your own illumination
is fucking cool. Yeah, I agree to that. Yeah, but like, it doesn't matter. Like, at least to me, and I will say this: if you are playing World of Warcraft for roleplay purposes, then you don't care about the numbers behind the abilities, right?
I mean that. Let me clarify something. Like, there are different aspects of role playing.
Yes.
Like, role playing is not only role playing for the lore and like that kind of that is just one aspect of role playing.
Yes, correct.
Which is the one that you're.
Yeah, I'm referring to that. Yeah, if you're playing just for the lore, you don't care about what the numbers does. If you're playing for the numbers, you don't care about what the lore does. That people like their aesthetics to be consistent is another thing. But the important thing is like the choice is still meaningful.
Absolutely, right? It has to.
Yeah, and that has to be the supreme goal here.
No,
right?
I agree.
Right?
And the choice there is also someone said, like I was reading Twitter.
Yeah.
And someone said, none of this discussion really matters, for example, to the people that are going to be competing for like world first.
Nope. Absolutely.
It doesn't matter just because they're going to do
what is the most efficient thing to do. Call it a day.
And they're going to do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do they have to grind their faces off doing one type of content?
It doesn't matter.
It is the most efficient way of grinding stuff.
Yeah.
They are going to do it. It does not matter.
Correct. Yeah.
Like the competitive players, it may be an inconvenience, but they're going to do it anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely, and absolutely agree. Like, it does not matter.
It does not matter. Like, they will just do whatever it takes.
Yeah. So
it's funny. It's fun. Let me say something. It's funny because it is a discussion that it's born from the top 1%, and I believe that they kind of don't care. Like,
yes,
at the end of the day, whatever ends up happening with the systems, they're just gonna do it.
Correct. They're just gonna go grind it up, grind the face up, do it whatever it takes. Like, if they're gonna. Yeah, if they have to grind 500,000 replaceable soulbinds, they will do it.
They will do it. They will absolutely do it.
Yeah, if they had to buy them in the auction house or whatever, they will, I don't know, invest like thousands of real world dollars doing it.
It doesn't matter. And the complaint is the people that believe are there, but are not.
Yes.
Is it not what I'm saying? Like,
yes, absolutely.
Like,
it's
like for people like us, it doesn't matter because we're not at that level.
No, and we're like we try to do our best in the game, but we're not trying to go like super I had like Super doing like the most efficient mythic runs, whatever, and going to the most sweaty part. No, we just like, we play the game, we enjoy the game, we try to be as good, as efficient as we can in our own way, and that's it. In the way that we feel satisfied about what we're doing in the game, right? And that's the thing. Like,
Absolutely.
Like, how do you feel? Like, it's still a game. How do you feel satisfied approaching the game? If you're in a super sweaty guild that wants to be like super efficient with everything, you should not mind doing whatever it takes to like approach.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
If you're not, you should not mind whatever happens with these systems.
So you see what I mean? That it's kind of ironic that it's a complaint that it's coming out of just people who want to take the easy road to success.
Yes. Yeah.
It is a complaint from the people that want to be on the top,
but they don't want to do the
necessary work to be on the top.
Correct. Yes. Absolutely. And those same, and like, let me be clear. Those same people will complain if it becomes too easy to be in the top.
Absolutely.
That's the ironic part, because we have seen it in other games where they go super easy, approachable with all the systems, and then people start complaining about like, this is too easy to do. We want more challenge. Right?
And they put more challenge in it. But why do I do this challenge for?
Yeah.
I know.
You know that it's impossible to keep people happy.
It is impossible, but I really hope the developers are not swayed by this.
Yeah.
What I believe is a loud minority.
Yeah. I think we all agree that the intention of the conduit systems is good to make it like more permanent.
Yeah.
But maybe the approach of like consumable things is not the best, I think.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's like if you listen to Ion's interview with Preach.
Yeah.
I agree with like he gave a lot of insight of where are they aiming with all these systems.
Yeah.
And in a philosophical, like from the philosophy point of view, I completely agree with Ion. I think the development team has their priorities in the right place.
That's cool.
The problem is that the execution to make all these things work, it's tricky.
Yes. And hopefully,
I believe that they're aiming to the right place.
Yeah, and hopefully they arrive to the right place. Hopefully they listen to the correct people. Like, hopefully they listen to us and say, "Oh yeah, you're right."
I think rep from the put it in the best way possible. They should listen to everyone, but they should carefully filter the useful feedback,
Correct, yes.
Because there's a lot of trash feedback, just yelling, but we want this. And, and people don't necessarily know what they want.
Yeah.
And it's hard work to filter the useful information.
I think to finish this, because I think we're not going to talk anything else about but the beta of Shadowlands, because we're going to run out of time. So there was a discussion, and this is the last thing that we're going to talk about this. This is a discussion about if too many systems, like too many things in the game were bad or good. What do you think about that? Like, they're putting like the renown progression, and they're going to put the minigame weekly stuff in each covenant, and they're going to put the auto chess in the table thing, and then the covenant progression, and then the soulbind progression, and then the conduit progression, and then the Torghast progression, and then the legendary progression, with all the complexes, all the complex things that comes with the legendary, that now you need like certain people to specialize on forging certain type of specific legendaries, which for my part is good, because it's gonna bring like an interesting look into the what professions are in the game that
Yep.
right now are not doing much. Um,
Everyone is very excited about professions.
yeah.
Me as well.
Yeah, now blacksmith has sense now because they're gonna like specialize on forging certain type of legendaries, but you still need like
Every crafting profession, like now they're working are gonna have their own thing. Tailors are gonna have their own thing.
yeah,
They're gonna use special things to upgrade the crafted gear that come from the other crafters. So
correct. And then like
you're-
and to make the legendaries, you need like a bunch of things from another professions on top of having the actual crafter.
I think that's gonna make the economy more interesting.
Yeah, and I
I'm
feel
super
like really
excited
interesting because it's a look back at like how classic forges with the legendaries work before. Because I was seeing like they win to a raid and they bring the materials and then they go to the specific forger and the forger needs to have certain level to make the legendary that they need to do. That's
Yeah.
really interesting for me, right? In terms of like having a good healthy use for profession. Because right now, like I pick up enchanter on my main with and like right now in the patch I have nothing much to do besides like enchanting my own stuff once in a while and like you know
finding materials and selling stuff and
Yeah.
making gold.
yeah, exactly. It's like not very like, and that's like and it will be
I mean,
interesting,
that
but
is just not, okay. Let's be clear. That is not appealing to you,
yeah, fair
but there are
enough.
a lot of people.
But
who
I would
actually
like my profession to be more useful overall, right? That's what I'm saying, right?
The problem is that the usefulness, like right now, and I feel like it's gonna be something up to some extent in Shadowlands.
Yeah,
The usefulness of some professions declines as the whole expansion or the whole patch goes on.
yeah. But I think they're aiming that to not happen eventually because they add in a bunch of consumables and stuff, right?
Even with the legendaries and stuff like that,
Yeah,
at some point people are gonna have, for the most part, most of the legendaries that they want. So the selling those things for that specific purpose is gonna decline.
yeah. I understand that. But I think that there is a approach to try to make the professions as relevant as they can, more than right now in BFA.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is fine. It is just that if you look at the usefulness of a profession by the end of a major patch, like a lot of them are not are gonna fall in kind of the same place that they're right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because
So,
as like
yeah,
when it reaches the point where people have the stuff that they want, the professions kind of don't matter anymore.
yeah. So my question is it too many systems on top of systems for the average player to gawk at? All the different like progress avenues between renown, between the activating the maps, between going through your soulbinds, going to Torghast, going like through legendaries.
My opinion is probably not useful because I do acknowledge that it's probably too much.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that it's too much.
I think that I feel like it's too much, but the question is how much is in what pace is going to be delivered. Pacing is important, I think.
Oh no!
Right?
Like apparently they're gonna throw all the systems from the beginning at you.
Jesus! All right.
That's the fear that some people have expressed. That
yeah.
They're basically more or less from the beginning, and the beginning means when you hit level 60. Like let's acknowledge the leveling up is not part of the game.
yes.
So once you reach like max level and you start like the gearing up game, which is where the game begins.
Yeah.
You're gonna have everything on you.
Jesus. All right. That might be
like all the systems are gonna be open.
Yeah.
I know. I agree. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
I like that overwhelming feeling.
Yes.
And like that feeling of desperation that you were, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
For me, it's just an opportunity to pick something.
Yes.
Okay, first, I'm gonna focus on this thing.
Yeah.
And that just leaves me with a huge to-do list of things to focus on later. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I like it. I don't mind it. I think it's interesting. It just keeps my options open. If you are the type of player who wants to do everything at the same time, and right now,
Yeah.
it's our early insanity, but that's not how I approach games. So that's why I'm saying that probably my opinion is not.
The best one.
I'm in a position that it's like
Unique.
it has a million systems on top of
Yeah.
systems, and you have to care about all of them. I always approach it like, okay, let me dissect one of them at a time.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that process of going through one at a time and figuring it out.
Yeah. That's the major fear. Like, it is too much it's gonna be too much for some players, and then they're gonna deter him from like advancing.
Probably, but I also kind of trust that
for
players
me,
now are kind of smart.
I don't mind that they throw everything at you, but for me, I think they should be careful in pointing you out which one is the most relevant for whatever progression you want to do.
Just doesn't matter.
At least for me, that's what I will look to be clear. Like, all right, you are here now. What should you do? Technically, the best thing to do first, and the game will say
there
you
is
should
no
like.
answer for that question.
I know, but there should be like at least a little bit of guidance of what should you do first to avoid that.
No, but if there is no clear answer, then any type of guidance is bad guidance.
I know. I know, and I know, but like, I don't know. It's difficult. Like, I'm trying to like avoid that overwhelming feeling that the players are gonna get when they get there, and all the systems are gonna open up and slap it in the face.
but that is
like, it's not bad for us because we are kind of used to that. Like, we will approach it fine.
No, but let me make an argument in favor of that.
Yes.
Like when all the systems are thrown at your face,
Yeah,
and you're kind of overwhelmed,
yeah,
it somehow gives a sensation of, oh, this is big. Like
yes.
there is
yes.
there is a lot to discover, and
Yes.
if you're in for the journey,
Yes.
then I think the problem is people wanting everything now, and not.
That's different. Yeah.
Not being on the mentality that this is a journey. This is not something that you're gonna get everything in a week.
Yeah, but of course, but as a game developer, I want to avoid that feeling of this is too much for me. I'm gonna just like jump through a window.
Yeah,
right.
Still, like, that is a position.
Yeah, yes.
What I'm arguing, even as a developer, is that maybe in some cases you should not. You should let your players be overwhelmed and experience that on their own, and like, because there is like there is a lot of value on untangling the game.
Yes. I agree. Yeah.
And if you're presented with kind of a streamlined sense of progression, it becomes too easy. You know what I mean? Like there is a lot of engagement and enjoyment that comes out of looking at all the systems and saying and like figuring out.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult answer because of what you assume your player base will prefer. I think as WoW players, I think the overall answer should be like, yes, your overall player base should prefer having all the systems in front of you and go and explore and do, right? But we don't have the numbers, so maybe we don't have like the specific answer to that question. But like, my opinion is that you as a developer should like try to avoid overwhelming your players.
I really cannot get behind that.
But giving them a sense of like there's still a lot of thing to do is good too.
But how do you like what I'm saying is that accomplishing those two things at the same time, it is gonna be impossible.
I know that is impossible, but like you can like lean more to one side or the other. That's what I
mean. Fair.
Yeah.
And I would say lean to just overwhelm them.
Fair enough. And I think for WoW, for World of Warcraft, that's the correct answer.
I think that is the correct answer for everything in life. Like,
Not necessarily. Not for all
it
the
is kind of
games.
a philosophy in life. Like if
Yeah.
you're not challenging yourself,
Yeah, fair enough.
like if the adventure in front of you is not challenging, is it really an adventure?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's kind of a philosophy. Like, and
Yeah.
that's what I believe.
Yeah.
I don't want the easy road to success.
Anyways, I think like to finish the deep dive, I think Shadowlands is looking very cool. They're kind of taking the majority of correct answers and the philosophy is in the right place. They just have to to be careful with the deliverance and how they're delivering all these systems, and I think they're going.
Yeah.
I think it's fine, right?
I am excited for Shadowlands.
Yeah, I think they're doing
Like
fine.
I've been paying close attention to all the like developer interviews and all those things, and from what I can gather from them, is that I feel like the developing team has its heart in the right place.
Correct. Yes.
And that gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Yes.
Because I mean, everything, like they have good intentions. They are aware of the problems, and a lot of the things are gonna break it or make it on the implementation and on the little details. That is true.
Yeah.
But they know things, like they're not like naive. Like, oh, we didn't know this was a problem. No, they know.
Yeah.
And they haven't spoken openly. So I'm that gives me peace of mind in a sense.
Yes.
Like they know I agree on a fundamental level to where they want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, for the right. That's
Yeah. I agree. With that. I think they're doing it quite well. All right, now we move to our audience questions and feedback. Remember, if you want to contact us and send us your burning question, you can leave it on the comment section down here if you are watching us and hearing us on YouTube, or you can send us email. You can send us your questions on our personal Twitters. There's no problem about that. Or pass by my stream and leave your questions there. We will try to answer them here on the podcast. So the first questions of this week is, what are your favorite classes to build around in a game in general? So we're talking like general, like mage, barbarian, and stealth class. Or like a healer kind of class. So like, what is your go-to when you pick up an RPG?
Oh, my go-to?
Yeah.
Pet
class. Whatever it has, like pets and managing pets and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, whatever has pets and companions and those things. I love those.
Cool.
That is my go-to.
All right. My go-to class generally is mages. I like mages. I like magic and stuff. Yeah.
Boring.
I'm boring. I know. I'm super ready.
That's such a basic bitch answer.
I'm a basic bitch now. But what can I do? I like mages and do magic. I'd always try to, but it's very difficult, in the games that I try. I always have the fantasy of one of these days do like a perfect battle mage. I really love the fantasy of battle mage. Since I do it in Dragon Age Origins, I love the fantasy of battle mages. Like just enhancing your warrior abilities through magic. I love that. But I generally for default go for, if that's not possible, I go for mages.
Boring.
Lucho says I'm boring. All right, and the second question of this week is, what is the worst experience any of you had in random groups through RPGs?
The worst experience.
Yes. That you say, this is shit. I'm going to burn down a house. People are crazy. In random books or that sort of stuff.
I don't. It always comes down to people trying to enforce a specific game style.
Yeah.
A public. like people telling other people like, oh, you're using your class wrong.
Yeah.
That is for me a telltale sign of this is the toxic environment.
I think I agree with that. That's the worst, when you get into a random and people try to play for you.
Not only that, or they offer unasked advice.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and this
it is not friendly,
not
because sometimes he's like, maybe you should like stand there because X, Y, or Z. That's fine. Like if you're doing something like mildly wrong, or you're standing in the wrong place in terms of the activity that you're doing, that's fine. But when you tell you're playing this spec, you should like use this X, Y, you should go and do X things, and you're like, what? Right?
Yes.
Something like that. I think that's the worst.
I think, you know which one is the one that drops me the worst way?
Yeah.
When in Warframe someone tells me not to use slow Noah. It's like,
I feel that was a personal attack. Remember that we have this conversation once, like, you should use fast Noah for certain things.
No, when I do it with you, it's fine. Like,
yeah,
because I know you, and I know the place where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I may not do it. I may ignore you, but
yes.
but it's fine. But when it's random people, it's like
fair enough.
You.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spam slow as much as I can.
Just annoying the crap out of you.
Yeah. Because like especially in Warframe, it's such an easy game. Like it's an easy game.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, it's an easy game.
I mean, not easy, but like, is it gonna kill you if things are just slow and you have to fucking jump around in a game where mobility is a big part of the game?
Yeah.
You lazy piece of trash. That's all that means. Like,
yeah,
it's not like moving is a pain in the ass in Warframe.
That's correct. Yes. Come on. Yeah. Come
like, on. Enemy is stuck behind that hole.
Yeah.
Can't you just freaking jump? You lazy piece of trash.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
That's where that comes from. Like, it's just laziness. It's not. It's nothing else.
Fair enough.
That one really rubs me wrong. But in general, it's when people offer unsolicited advice. And like I assume that people know to play their classes more or less.
Yeah.
It is. But that's in PUBG. Like when it's with a group of people that I know, it's different.
Yeah, because we don't like. I remember when I was doing that suggestion, it was like I didn't mind that I just want to be more efficient. I wasn't being lazy.
I know.
And that was it. Anyways, and that's it.
That's all for this week's episode.
Yeah.
Once again, thanks for tuning into A Sweaty Farmer and the Game Design. My name is Lucho, and you can find me on Twitter at Luis G. Polanco.
And I am the Lone Name Gamer, and you can find me on Twitter at the Lone Name Gamer, and on Twitch on twitch.tv/Lone Name Gamers, where I stream Mondays to Fridays. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, click the bell thingy. If you're on YouTube, leave us a comment down, leave us a like, a kiss. If you are in any other listening platforms, leave us a like, a star, a qualification, a comment, whatever else is there. Send us your good intentions and your love through the interwebs. We will receive it. And thank you to supporting The Sweaty the Farmer and the Game Design. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. And did you know, since the arrival to ancient Greece and Rome to their expansion in medieval Europe, carrots were often used for the medicinal properties. Romans famously thought the carrots were aphrodisiacs. So beyond using it like a dildo, you can use it as an aphrodisiac. I don't know. Did you get horny with carrots, Lucho?
No.
You
I
eat some
do not.
carrots? Are you sure? Romance food?
I do eat carrots.
All right, be careful. You never know.
Yeah, no. And the natural sugars and sweetness of carrots allow them to be used in carrot cakes. Used in carrot cakes in Western countries. In India, they are used as desserts, while countries such as Portugal use carrots in jam. And carrot juice is widely consumed, especially as a health drink, with or without other fruits and vegetables.
Cool. I had carrot cake once
I love carrot
in
cake.
Australia. It was really cool. It was really nice. Have you had any other kind of like dessert of carrots, made of carrots?
Not really.
I've had
Like the carrot jam sounds interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly same. Carrot just like, how that will taste. I've eaten carrot cake and carrot. It's not cupcakes. It's the other one. Muffins. I've eaten carrot muffins.
Oh, carrot muffins. I have also eaten carrot muffins,
Yeah.
which is a variation of carrot cake,
Yes.
like
yes.
a carrot sponge.
Yes, like carrot sponge. But jam, man, how do you do carrot jam? Can you do the same with